have to say where they come from. And what we have here is multi-initiated clones. What happens? Obviously, one clone is going to succeed. And so this can either be, you get here, you've got clonal coexistence, but then you get clonal competition. We get clonal competition, just like evolution, natural selection. Clonal competition drives neoplasia. You've got clones which are struggling for existence, and the one which is fittest is going to survive. So clonal competition by itself will drive neoplasia. And it's recently been sort of suggested that actually competition is a major thing. And Carla Maley was a very good computer scientist. Discovered this idea that there are various types of competition. There's just strict competition for between individual cell and individual clones, and you can move by predational parasitism. In fact, this is work which I think is struggling through gastroenterology at the moment. This is a colonic polyp, and you can see here you've got neoplastic epithelium growing down an adjacent crypt territory. When you do genetics, you can see there's a mutation. That's not. So this is a clone predation actually occurring as we watch. And recently, a very interesting paper by a man called Marino, from carcinogenesis a couple of months ago, and also reviewed interviews in cancer, looking at Drosophila, in which you can put mutations of these things called minute genes. And you can see these clones growing in this is a wing marginal disc. And they grow because they're overexpression in this wing gene, which expresses the cycling. And when you look at the margins of this, these cells are actually killing the wild type cell. So these are super competitive. They're killing other cells. So we might have to come to the conclusion that the reason you're getting spread in all it's just a list of field cancerization in all esophagus, stomach, skin, cervix, vulva. They all show field cancerization. So this phenomenon of fixation and spread is central to all the cancers we know about. It may be that these are super competitive. So I think what we're going to be thinking about is clone wars, because clones are warring between themselves. And certainly Barts esophagus, I think the future will lie in our ability to identify the fittest clone and see what its characteristics are, and then try and think out a reasonable method of trying to prevent it spreading, or at that point intervene surgery. So, going back to our patient here, I hope I convinced you that this is a very important phenomenon. This patient is now dead. He was the director of research at Louisville University, and the ethical question is, should he be co-author on the paper? I personally think he should be, because he's contributed his colon, and just like bacon and eggs, eggs are expected by the chicken, but the bacon is total commitment by the pig. So he's committed his colon, so I think he should be a co-author. But this mutation, this P53 mutation, has travelled backwards. I know surgeons all believe in bits of tumour breaking off and floating down the bowel. Remember that theory? But here you've actually got a P53 which is actually moving backwards. And I want to try and convince you that because of crypt fission and spread and field cancerization. And field cancerization, the old slaughter concept, is a concept we ignore at our peril. And finally, people who do this work, like this is my group, are indulging in their favourite occupation of binge drinking. The people who do the work are actually Laura Reeves and Doug Turner in Newcastle, Stuart McDonald, Simon Needham, Peter Curtis, Trevor Graham, Adam Humphries, Paul Tagros, and our Professor of Surgery, Susan Gallagher. Thank you very much.
Well, what a splendid lecture that was. And it's hard to believe that Sir Nick is an administrator as well. And of a big, big medical school. And I just don't know where he finds the energy and the time to do this. But as you can see, I mean, what a wonderful tribute to John FARNDON. I'm sure if John was here, he would have loved that lecture. He would have really enjoyed it. Especially the debunking of some of the well-cherished hypotheses. I mean, Moore Grossman always used to say that cherished hypotheses are expendable. And that cartoon that you put on there about people mechanistic looking at trying to get the facts to fit the hypothesis. I mean, that is so true, and we've got to be very, very careful about that. Thank you for sparing the time to give this. I know you're very busy indeed. I'm most grateful. Superb lectures. Thank you very much indeed.